Hello everybody. So it is currently like storming outside. Like if I were to walk outside right now, I might get struck by lightning. What other perfect time than to do a little book recommendation video? I felt inspired to make a video while it was storming, so let's get started. Let's go. Now I am kind of like picky with my books. I don't know, I like a little drama, but for starters, I would like to just shout out my favorite author of all time. I absolutely love her so much. Words cannot even comprehend how much I fucking love Ellen Hopkins. Oh my goodness. I started reading Ellen Hopkins. I distinctly remember it. I was in a public library. Literally, like, I picked up this book because it just looked interesting. It was in the teen section. I think I was maybe like 12 or 13 when I read this. It literally changed my life. So basically, Ellen Hopkins, she writes in verse. Let me find a good page. Like, sometimes it'll be like this. A few sentences here, boom, boom, boom. And then other times it can just be written like this, like normally, like reading it up and down. Or like sometimes the words will like literally form like a shape. I think that reading in verse is so cool, but also just this story is crazy. Okay, so this is just the first book in the series. I have the second book right here. I wasn't gonna bring over all of them. I believe it's a 5 or 6 part series. How it starts off with the first book, Crank, is there's this straight A student. I don't remember what sport she does exactly, maybe like soccer, but you know, she's athletic, she's a star student, star athlete. She just has her life all put together, you know what I mean? And then she goes and she spends the summer with her father in LA or like something, like a party city, and she meets this boy. The boy gets her into some bad stuff. He's literally like, oh, like, here, try this, and it's the drug crank. Then, you know, he gets her kind of like hooked on it. They're like having like this summer fling or whatever, but then she has to go back home like to her parents when the summer's over, and it basically follows her through dealing with addiction. And like basically, because when she goes back home to live with her mom, she doesn't know where to get drugs. She's never done anything like this before. I don't know, it kind of just follows her story. And eventually down the line, I don't want to like spoil it too much, and I also don't want to get like flagged on here for some of the stuff that goes on, but she does end up having children, and throughout the series she has like multiple children. The last book is like about all of those children and like their lives. And honestly, it's just a really interesting developing story. It's based on a true story. I believe she writes it about her own mother. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I have heard that though. Maybe I should have researched that for the purpose of this video. But this is a very impulsive film, okay? I fucking love this series to death. This is another book by Ellen Hopkins. I actually did a report on this sophomore English class in high school. If anybody had me in that class and you remember me doing a report on this fucking crazy ass book to talk about in school, that was me. I also found this in the school library. That's why I did a report on it, because I was like, oh, Ellen Hopkins. But this book is kind of wild to like do a school report on, and you'll see why in a second. So basically it's called Tricks, if you can even see. I believe it's 6 different characters, and each chapter you switch POVs like from character to character, and that's a concept that I like in a book. I will say that like sometimes it can be confusing, but this was done in a very good way. I liked the way that it was done. It was done in a nice way. This book is to basically spread awareness about like human trafficking and underage prostitution and stuff like that. And each character kind of goes through their own situation that, like, you know, you at home, the viewer may look at yourself and be like, oh, I would never end up in a situation like that. Each character is the same. They don't want to be there. They never thought that it would be them, but now it is. It is honestly kind of crazy, and it does spread awareness about a lot of different issues, like ways that just shit can go wrong. Like, life can go wrong so fucking fast. Oh, I probably shouldn't be cussing. Oh. And not just girls, one of the characters in here is a male, and he gets roped into it. I also liked that aspect of it because a lot of times we only hear stories of, you know, young girls getting sex trafficked and kidnapped and taken advantage of and stuff, but it is also young men out there, and it's just an issue that needs to be dealt with and we need to spread awareness. It is like a scary topic. It is an uncomfortable topic, but I feel like that this was done in a very nice way. She dedicated this book to the members of law enforcement, social work, and the judiciary system who truly care about young people that are going through situations like these. This next book, as you can see, has been through hell and back, okay? I don't even remember when I acquired this book. I think in like the 6th grade. I've definitely read it maybe like 3 times, and it's not even like that long. I literally loved this book in middle school. I remember just like sitting by the pool and reading this. This is loosely based on a true story. All the details are, you know, like made up. The concept, like, it truly did happen. This book is about a girl, I think she's like 16 or whatever, she's in high school. Basically, she's like eating breakfast with her family one day, and she looks on the milk carton, and guess what face she sees? Hers. As a baby. She has to figure out like what? Like, what's going on? I don't know. I really like psychological stuff. Like, anything psychological, I'm all here for. Like I said, it is like loosely based on a true story. Like, somebody did see their face on a milk carton and realize they had been like kidnapped or something. This book is good. I do recommend it. It is by Caroline B. Cooney. And then for my last book, I'm just kind of going off of books that I own on my bookshelf, and this is, you know, an impulsive film. A classic, Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. If you were not forced to read this in English class in high school, I do recommend it. One of my favorite things about this book is the unreliable narrator. I don't really think I'm spoiling anything by saying that. I mean, the book has been out since when? Since fucking when? A long damn time. Since 1945. So, spoiler alert, I guess. I like a tale with a good unreliable narrator because it always leaves you kind of pondering, guessing, like, are you telling the truth about this? Or can I trust anything you're saying? It leaves for a very interesting read, and it makes you want to keep flipping the page and like reading more, you know what I mean? For some people, they don't like reading older books because it can get like, I guess, kind of boring with like the way that the wording is and stuff. Honestly, I didn't feel that way about this book at all. It just kept pulling me in. I do recommend Catcher in the Rye if you were never forced to read it in school because it's a classic. You should just read it. It's good. So yes, those are all of the books that I will be talking about today. Please let me know down in the comments if you've read any of the books that I've talked about today, or if you are reading the books that I've recommended. Please let me know how you enjoy them. Also, please like and subscribe. It does help support this channel. Yes, that is all. Hope you guys enjoy your night. Bye.